There is no print date on this Canadian tape eventually. Sorry about that, you guys. I was trying to fix my camera there because it was losing focus there a little bit there. So I do apologize for that inconvenience there, you guys. But that's okay, though. It happens. So that's the reason why my camera was getting blurry for no reason at all. So that's why I had to try to fix my camera there to make it look better there. And y'all can see better. Y'all can see much better there. So, yeah, anyways. Let's just go ahead and let's start the damage tape video to this tape and explain the details before I start the video here. So, yeah. And this tape is a little bit damaged at the beginning, right during the black screen and the 1984 red Canadian warning screens at the beginning, which it gets a little bit jumpy during that at the beginning. And also it has some lines at the middle of the movie, and then it also gets a little bit damaged at the end of this tape a little bit as well too, in which I just realized this recently back on Tuesday night when I was in the middle of showing random tapes number 15 video by watching my 1984 Canadian VHS of Robin Hood, which is version 2 of it, which does contain the preview for The Sword in the Stone at the beginning of that particular Canadian copy of that VHS right there. So that is the main reason why I have to do a damage tape video on this tape right now at the moment, that is. So yeah, because there's like 3 or maybe 4 different damage parts on this tape, that is, that I'm going to have to show right here in this video, that is. So yeah, in which I'm about to go ahead and show you for proof right now. And before we go ahead and get started, I am going to go ahead and leave my TV muted for this, so that way I can keep talking to you guys and not play any sound during the damage tape video and stuff. And also, I will keep this all into one video, so that way I don't have to split into different parts of the damage tape video, because I'm just going to keep it at one entire full video, that is, of the damage tape video to this tape right there. So anyways, you guys, I just wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys right before we go ahead and get started. So yeah, anyways. So we're going to go ahead and show the beginning part of this first, and then the middle, and then the end of it afterwards, that is. So yeah. So anyways, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll go ahead and show you for proof about what the damaged parts on this tape look like and stuff like that. So yeah. So anyways, let's get started, fellas. And here we go now, guys, and here goes nothing. Here's what the beginning part of this tape looks like. Yeah, it's shaking a little bit right during the 1984 red Canadian warning screens at the beginning of this tape right there, but that's all that's at the beginning. So yeah, so basically it's not really that damaged or anything like that, but it just gets a little bit shaky during the 1984 red Canadian warning screens at the beginning a little bit there. But I decided to go ahead and show the beginning part of this just for fun and just for the heck of it, that is. So yeah. So that's pretty much the beginning part of this tape. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the next part. So I'm going to pause the video and I'll be back with the next part. So yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so now here is the second damaged part on this tape right there for the 1984 Canadian VHS of Robin Hood, which is version 2 once again. In which, for the next damage part, this tape has some lines at the middle of this tape a little bit, right during the archery tournament scene in this movie a little bit there. So, in which I just realized that back on Tuesday night when I was showing Random Tapes number 15 video on watching that Canadian VHS of Robin Hood right there recently. So anyways, you guys, here comes the next damage part on this tape, which it only has like 2 lines in the middle of this tape and all that stuff. So and here goes the next part. So here's what it looks like now, guys. So here's the next one. Here it comes. Yeah, this tape just only has like 2 lines at the middle of this tape during this part right there. So yeah, it only just basically just has 2 lines right there, and that's about it for the middle part on this tape there. So yeah. So now that was the damaged part that's at the middle of this tape. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the last and the final part of the damaged part on this tape right there. So which is at the very end during the ending scene of the movie there. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video again, and we're going to just go continue from there. So I'll see you guys then. Alright, before we go ahead and do the last and the last damage part on this, which is now going to be the 4th and final damage part on this, is, guys, I also realized there also is some lines at the middle of this tape a little bit there. So that means this is now going to be the 3rd damage part on this tape, because I just realized another part that actually has some lines a little bit there at the middle as well too, in which I have to show that one too. So now this will be 4 damage parts on this tape that I'm gonna have to show in the whole entire video, that is. So for the next damage part, this also has some lines at the middle of this tape in another part at the middle of this tape a little bit there, in which I'm about to show you that part right now and see what it looks like and stuff. So here we go now, guys, and here goes the next damage part. So here we go. Let's show that one, and here goes nothing. It's going to come up in a second, guys, so bear with me, guys. It's going to come up very shortly. You'll see what it looks like. Here it comes. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does get a little bit damaged. Like, it has some lines a little bit there right during this part, as y'all can see it from there. If some of y'all can probably see it from there, and some of y'all may be hard to tell. Maybe it's hard to see from there, but it actually does get a little bit damaged right there. Like, it just has a little bit of some lines, and that's about it for this part right there. So, kind of minor. Mostly, the damaged parts on this tape are kind of minor. So, yeah, except the ending part, which I'm about to show you that one. The last one after this one. So, the next one after this one, by the way. So, yeah. That one just gets a little bit more damage. It's not like severe or anything like that, but it does get a little bit damaged at the end of it. At the end of this tape right there, which I'm about to go on and show you that right now. So anyways, you guys, let's go on and move on to the last one, and then I'll be back from there. So I'll see you guys back at the last damage part. So I'll be back, guys. Alright, now here's the last and the final damage part on this tape right there, which the next one you're about to see is the ending scene of this movie, where it gets a little bit damaged at the end of this tape right there, and you'll see what it looks like. So it does get a little bit damaged at the end of it right there, so you'll see what it looks like for sure. So anyways, you guys, here goes the last and the final damage part on this tape, which is at the very end of this tape, right during the ending scene to the classic 1973 Disney animated movie of Robin Hood on this tape at the end. So here's what it looks like, guys, and here goes the last one. Here it is. It's going to come up in a second, so bear with me, guys. It's going to come up shortly. Yeah, about right there. It does get a little bit damaged right there, right during the end Walt Disney Productions title card of this movie right there, as y'all can see it from there. So yeah, it does get a little bit damaged at the end of this tape a little bit there, but however, the rest of this entire Canadian VHS tape still working fine and still plays fine throughout the rest of the tape, that is. So yeah. So I just want to give you guys a heads up about this Canadian VHS tape of Robin Hood from 1984, that is, about my details and my conversation about the damaged parts on this, and the whole about the tape itself, that is. So yeah. So anyways, you guys, that was all the damaged parts on this tape. So that was a total of 4 damages on this tape right there. So it's not like severe or anything like that. So mostly it's just kind of minor. So, but except a little bit damaged at the end, but it's not that bad either. So, but like I said, however, the rest of this entire Canadian VHS tape still plays fine though. So I just want to let you guys know and give you guys a heads up on that. So before we go ahead and give out the outros at the end of this damaged tape video and stuff. So yeah. So anyways, you guys, let me go ahead and pause the video one last time because I'm going to go ahead and just rewind that video cassette back to the beginning there real quick. So let me go ahead and pause the video real quick while I get that VHS tape rewound inside of my Toshiba VCR and DVD combo real quick. So this will take like 2 minutes or so there. And then once after I get that tape rewound back to the beginning, I'll go in and give out the outros at the end of this damaged tape video. So I'm going to go in and rewind this, and I'll be back with you guys. So I'll be back, you guys. And this won't take like around like 2 minutes or so. So I'll be back, guys. No worries. Once again, there is no print date on this Canadian tape eventually, once again. All right, you guys, that will finish up the damaged tape video on my 1984 Canadian VHS of Robin Hood, which this copy is version 2. However, it's because this copy does contain the preview for the Sword in the Stone at the beginning of this tape, for my copy of it, that is. So I just want to give you guys a heads up and give you guys the information, details about my copy of the 1984 Canadian VHS of this tape right there.